Hello, hello. We're back with another update. It is day number 124, and honestly, a decent bit of interesting stuff has happened since yesterday. So first things first, let me get in here and collect my mystery shards. Oops. No. Okay. So what's going on? Well, a few things. We got a new episode of Call of the Arbiter, so that's been great. We got some rewards for that, so it's, can't complain about that. It's, good stuff. But more importantly, with that announcement, or with that new episode, we've got the announcement for the new fusion, which is this champion. Let's see if I actually can pull him up in game. I don't know if I can. Nut. Yeah, Newt, I think is how they say it. Who honestly looks amazing. This champion is so good for Fire Knight Hard 10 because he can basically be like the allure of Fire Knight, but he also has a number of other amazing things in his kit, including the fact that his A1 deals damage based on enemy max HP. We don't know what the modifier is, but even if it's pretty low, because the way that ability tends to work, where it's capped at 10% on most bosses, it means you can stack a bunch of crit damage, and even if it's a low modifier, you can make up for it and still get a lot of value out of that. Also, it hits 3 times on his A1, so honestly, he seems like a nutty champion. One of the top fusions that we've had so far, and definitely the best fusion that would have happened since I started this account. That being said, I am really concerned that I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on this account. It just simply comes down to a matter of not having enough mystery shards. Odds are, if it's a traditional fusion, which we're not 100% sure it's a traditional fusion, but it probably is. It could be a hybrid fusion. That's honestly kind of what I'm hoping for on this account, because if it's a hybrid fusion, I could do it. But if it's a traditional fusion, we need to pick up 2,500 points probably in a champ chase tournament, and like 2,500 points in a summon rush tournament, and usually there's not a lot of leeway in those things. And I only have like 1,800 shards. I could maybe get to well, actually, did I say 2,500? I think some of them are like 2,250. We'll see exactly where it is. I could maybe get that, but if we have to do both of those things, like, there's no way I can deal with like getting 5,000 shards. There is a potential for me to pick up a lot of points from champ chase, because I do have Drexler ready to go, Jamarsa ready to go. My referral account honestly is getting very close to level 50. It's like halfway there. It's probably hit it today or tomorrow. And then we can bust these guys out to level 40, and we might be able to pull Cronam as well during the champ chase. So, we have some potential there, especially if it's a traditional fusion and we can fuse some of the epics during that. There's a possibility, but I don't know, like, even with all of that, it would probably get me around the like 1,250 point mark, and then I'd pull like 1,200 shards to finish it off, or maybe if I'm lucky 1,000 shards to finish it off, and I'm still going to be left like hundreds and hundreds of shards short of being able to finish the summon rush. So I am not super optimistic that I'm going to be able to do it, but I absolutely would try. That being said, I mean, part of the appeal of this account is, we do things with champions that are super accessible, like rares and uncommons and things. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. It's a little bit of a bummer if we can't do it, but this is how it's going to have to be. This champion is basically a requirement to do Hard Fire Knight 10 unless you have Cardial and Valkyrie. So I think he's going to be anyway. So we probably won't ever get to that point on this account, but, it is what it is. Let's see. Let me check the Soul Merchant real quick, see if there's anything in here. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, so that was big news, obviously. Excited about that, especially for my main account, but probably not going to get them here. Other things that have happened is the Forge Pass is out. We've got the next version. It's the Righteous set again. I honestly think people are sleeping on just how good the Righteous set actually is. I think I'm going to do a video on it, and actually, who knows, maybe it'll even make it out before this one. But I want to do a breakdown like I did a long time ago on like the value of sets and how sets that give stats compare to each other, because Righteous is the best set in the game in terms of getting the most stats for your sets. It's actually amazing. It's so good. So as many pieces as you can get are great, and I'm actually happy that we're going to be able to pick some more up on this account, although because we're not buying the premium version, like, you can only get so many pieces of the the like gold stuff, like the actual, legendary pieces. So I don't know. It is what it is, but still, the more we can get, the better. Okay, so other things that have happened since yesterday. We have this artifact enhancement event, and I told you I was going to do some gear cleansing and level up some champions and gear them out. So I've done that. We've collected pretty much all the rewards. I'm not going to go for the Ancient Shard. I'm not going to go for the Epic Tome just because I don't really care. And I'm very low on silver, and we need to save it. We've got 4 million. But so what did we build? The main thing we built is Arbiter. We got Arbiter fully kitted out in regeneration gear now. She is basically designed to be tanky, regeneration Arbiter. I originally had built her with the Health Hades Optimizer to have about 250 resistance, but that was before I leveled the gear, and so some of this gear, like this piece, I got another 19 resistance when that hit max level. What else did I hit? I landed, when I took this piece up, oh, I forgot to take this all the way to plus 16. I'm gonna have to do that. I think this piece was only level 8 when I put it in the optimizer, so I got another 18 resistance there. Did I pick up any more resistance on anything else? I think that was it, but I mean, just that alone was a big boost resistance. So yeah, her build is now over 300 resistance with 228 speed, 62,000 health, and 2,400 defense. Her defense is definitely low. Her health is good. I prefer more defense, but her resistance is nice. Her speed is acceptable. So obviously she's not going to be my arena speed booster, but she's good to go. And she allowed me to do something quite interesting. I didn't record this fight because I had to just keep running it over and over again. But check it out. 8.9 million on the normal Hydra. That gets us our top chest in Hydra. What happened was like the very first time I tried to run this. Okay, so first off, what's the team? The main thing that we did on this team versus the other team is I traded out Rhonda, who is in the old team, for Arbiter on this team. And the main difference, what happened is we're doing this rotation here with the Head of Wrath in the starting lineup, and the Head of Wrath, we don't have any like buff strip or don't have any cleansing or block buffs or anything like that. So what happens is the Head of Wrath gets his increased attack from his A2, we activate his passive, and he nukes the whole team down, right? And everybody dies. Except for like Artak. Artak was like one of the only champions who could survive it. And then Artak was basically just dealing enough damage before he died to get us over the 2.2 million mark to pick up the novice chest. But now that we have Arbiter, the way we're able to play this is because she's in that tanky regeneration build, not always, but sometimes she can survive the nuke from the Head of Wrath and then revive the whole team, and we could just keep going like it never even happened, right? Like it doesn't matter that he nuked everyone dead because Arbiter just revives everyone and we just keep going. And so a lot of times when I was running this, like, okay, first time I ran this, I actually hit 11 million damage, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I was doing a little bit more manual, and I was like, I gotta try this on hard before I commit the keys. So I was like, you know what, I'm sure I can get this again, like no problem. I will just cancel the run and go do it on hard. And I tried it on hard a little bit, and it was very clear that it wasn't going to work just because the Head of Wrath hits way harder. It just nukes everyone down, and Arbiter can't really stay up. Maybe if I had like done it over and over and over again, I could have got it. But I also noticed, like, in order to get a chest that's better than what I would get on normal, I have to do at least 13.6 million, because for some, is this right? Like, it gives the same chest for both the first and the second tier? Like, what? You don't get better rewards? Like, why do they even do this? Why don't they just set the threshold at 13.6? I never realized this before. But yeah, it's super odd that, like, basically you can do 11 million damage, or you can do 4 million damage, 4.5 million damage on normal. And in order to get a better chest, you have to go all the way up to 13.6 million damage on hard. In fact, if you can hit 6 million damage on normal, in order to get a better chest on hard, you have to do over 20.4 million damage. Like, how does that make any sense? I mean, I get that you can run both, like, you know, you have multiple teams and you run both, but it still seems weird to me that you get the adept chest for both of these, and that you don't even get a better reward until you hit 13.6. So anyway, I knew very quickly that I was not going to be able to do that. And I don't know, maybe I could have gotten a little bit more than I was getting. I was getting like 300k on hard because everything was just failing right away, which makes sense because that first turn we have none of the mechanics we need to deal with it. But yeah, anyway, so, and then I came back and tried to do it on normal, and it kept failing over and over again. I was like, oh no, did I throw away the only good run I was going to be able to get? But what happened was I basically just got, I was like working, and so I would just press auto and then just minimize the tab and like go back to working and then check back a few minutes later. I ran it like a dozen times doing that, and eventually it got 8.9 million. I was like, okay, cool, we're done. I could have probably manualed it and got it like the first try, but I didn't want to. So yeah, that's why I don't have a recording or anything. But yeah, really happy with that. Again, the strategy here was have the Head of Wrath basically kill everyone, and then just have Arbiter be tanky enough. She's in a resistance. Because she's got the resistance, it's really nice because the Head of Wrath puts out that provoke on her. And so right after he usually what happens is he provokes, he's pretty close to activating his ability, he provokes the whole team, the team hits him and activates his ability, and then he kills everyone. And if Arbiter is provoked during that phase, then she won't be able to do the revive until her next turn, and she'll probably die. So by having her with the resistance as well as the tankiness, she resists the provoke, and then she can bring the whole team back right after he nukes them down, and that's how you deal with the nuke. So no need for block debuffs. Or block buffs, which is kind of cool. So yeah, super happy about that. We're going to get the top chest there. I don't know if this helps us get more Mithrala fragments at all. I guess it doesn't. It gets us a little more clan gold. Probably gets us a little bit better gear, I would guess. We got a 6-star. We can get 6-star mythical? Oh, damn. I didn't realize you could get 6-star mythical so low. Yeah, so before we could only get 5-star. Now we can get 6-star mythical. That's awesome. Yeah, and yeah, we're good to go. I mean, there's no way we can get even the bottom chest on hard with the champions I have left. So that's pretty much Hydra taken care of for the week. That was pretty good. Excited about that. The other thing I did was I cleaned up Zephyr Sniper's gear a little bit. I just took her shield and her helmet up to plus 16. We did Doom Tower. We pushed up on hard and finished the Magma Dragon yesterday. That was no problem. I actually did fail on like one of the waves once, and then I just reran it, and it ran all the way to the Magma Dragon and beat it. I wasn't even really paying attention. It was just kind of running in the background under my main game. And yeah, it worked. So we're going to try that again, see how far we can get in the hard Doom Tower, but that's going well. Honestly, I think the Arbiter is going to help so much for Doom Tower because you just have that like big, beefy, tanky revive champion. And especially since we have two of them, right? We have two beefy, tanky revive champions. I mean, it's relative for this account, right? Like, this is not a tanky build on an endgame account. But for this level of account, this is a tanky build. Same thing with our Broadmaw. Also got, tanky stats. He's got even more defense than Arbiter, but he doesn't have the resistance. And having two of them is really nice because if like one dies, the other one can revive it, and then the other one can revive the team, or just back and forth. It's just like nice. It's just like people die all the time, and even though you don't have healing really, because a lot of this team like totally lacks healing. Arbiter technically has healing, but only when people are less than half health. But they just keep reviving each other over and over and over again. It's really nice to have these two just beefcakes sitting there, just reviving the team and keeping things moving. Artak's nice too because he's pretty beefy as well. So yeah, I think in terms of clearing the waves in Doom Tower, we're going to run Artak, Arbiter, Deacon, Broadmaw, and Zephyr Sniper, where Artak is basically there to do all of our damage. Zephyr Sniper is there to be our control, as well as Deacon Armstrong is going to be our turn meter control, decreased defense, turn meter boosting, that kind of thing. And then these two are also going to be doing turn meter boosting kind of stuff and reviving the team. And honestly, I think it'll be pretty good. We'll see how far we can go with this team, but I think especially with Zephyr Sniper in the stun set, we can just run it over and over again for the waves. Yeah, I think we can progress pretty far in the Doom Tower, but we'll see. I could totally end up just completely bombing out and not being able to make any progress. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the stuff I wanted to talk about today. I mean, we got this Fire Knight tournament starting. We got this Champ Chase. I don't think this is for the Fusion, so I don't know who's going to pull shards on that. That's weird. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to do the Fusion. I'm kind of realizing I'm probably not going to be able to do any Fusions on this account just because I don't farm enough campaign to get Mystery Shards, and I get some in the market. But I feel like I've increased my Mystery Shard count on this account in in the last 2 weeks, I maybe got like 200, not even. Like I feel like I hit 1700 mystery shards, like 1770, like a couple weeks ago, and now we're at 1800. Like we're just barely getting mystery shards, even though I'm checking the market every hour and buying all of them. It's just, I don't know. We just don't farm any campaign anymore. So it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. I mean, like I said, I kind of like the idea of using the champions that anyone can get. So past fusions, you know, I will use anything I can get. Like I'm going to use Artak and stuff like that, even though eventually people aren't going to be able to get him as a login reward. But, you know, if we can't do a fusion, we can't do a fusion. That's the end of the day. That's how it is. Yep, I think that's going to be it. I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one. Cheers. Oh, also keep an eye out for that artifact set video, because I think it's going to be... I think there's a lot of insight there, and I think there's a lot of bad information out there about which artifact sets are actually good. And when you look at the math, I think people will be surprised. So keep an eye out for it, and I'll see you later. Cheers.